Ms. Greer, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, Mr. King, if you want to put the offer on the table for Mr. Burns.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Burns can plea to the domestic charge under 7694A with a 12-month deferred sentence, batter's counseling, and no contact with the complaining witness.
Is that my case?
It's not, it's a Leanna Belcher case. You know what, Ms. Greer, why don't you just click off, and if we need you, we'll let you know. The only other in custody you have is Kimball, and obviously you're busy this morning, and the background noise is not productive on I can't do my cases when I can hear the other court doing whatever. So we'll let you know if Qualls or Sakaya picks up, and Mr. Bowditch can just pick up the other cases for Ms. Belcher. All right? And if Kimball shows up in custody, which is your case, we'll let you know. All right?
Okay, can I just say something
Sure.
really quick? Mr. Kimball was supposed to be in Judge Oakley's courtroom yesterday, so he's probably not going to be in your courtroom today.
He's in custody.
And-
We're waiting for the jail to put him on. He's in custody.
Oh, he's in custody. And I have information about Sarkov, Francis.
Yep.
He's actually out of town, but the complaining witness has indicated to me that she has been trying to reach Mr. King in regards to the case, that she does not want to proceed with the case.
I've received her letter. I have received her letter. I have reviewed her letter. I have discussed the case with my supervisor. You know, what I would request in this case would be, in lieu of setting this for a bench trial, set this for a final pretrial live and in person with an order that the complaining witness appear. With the understanding that if she doesn't, the case wouldn't then be likely dismissed by the court.
So just an in-person pretrial. Well, let's do that on that November 10th date at 9:30.
So 11/10, 9:30 in person.
Is this on wait, is it, that's on
This,
Sakaya?
Sakaya, sorry.
Hang on. Does that work for you, Ms. Greer?
I'm not going to come in person, but 9:30 is fine on 11/10.
And the court will be ordering that the complaining witness appear for this pretrial, Your Honor?
Well, I'm gonna write OIC to subpoena victim to appear. I don't know what that means these days. But you may have to reach out to your officer.
Thank you.
All right, so you can let Mr. Sakaya know that, okay, Ms. Greer? And
I
then you
will.
can call in remotely if that's your preference.
I will. Your Honor, I thought that you were actually on mute, and so I do apologize. I know that the background, another court's hearing is very disturbing to you, and I wasn't trying to do that. I
Oh,
thought
no, I didn't think you tried to do it intentionally. I didn't think that at all. So I'm gonna set this pretrial then,
At what time on the 10th, Your Honor?
at 9:30. I'm just gonna stick it in when we're doing the other ones. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I completely understand, Your Honor.
I don't want to set an enormous amount of time because it's obviously it's just a pretrial anyway. Okay, so now on Marcus, okay, let me do on Mr. Miller. Mr. Bowditch, People versus Speed Miller.
Ready, Your Honor.
Yes,
For the
Your Honor.
record,
Larry King
Jeffrey
on behalf
Bowditch appearing on behalf of with Mr. Miller.
And have you had an opportunity to speak to Mr. Miller?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Miller is requesting a bench trial.
I'm gonna do that same date, the November 10th. Ooh, November 10th. At 10 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Miller, we're gonna send you a notice. You're gonna do it live, just like we did your exam, okay?
All right.
All right, you're all set, Mr. Miller.
I can,
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Hang
Thank you,
on.
Your Honor.
Mr. Bowditch, did you talk to the gentleman that came to the door, last name Ellery Scott?
Not yet, Your Honor.
Okay, let me, I'm going to have you stand, Ms. Belcher had Mr. Burns at 9 a.m. or 9:30, sorry, and he's on, can you give the offer on Burns, Mr. King? Or did you find the Burns case? I know you were
I
looking.
did, I put the offer on the record, Your Honor. The offer on the Burns case is to plead as charged under 7694A diversion, 12 months for probation, adverse counseling, and no contact with the complaining witness.
Okay, Mr. Bowditch, I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with Mr. Burns, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Mr. Burns, if you just hit join.
Your Honor, I'm going to step away for just 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Can I ask if Michelle Quells ever checked in?
Michelle Quills has not appeared, and Mr. Kimball, like I said, I have that motion. I have a motion to revoke his bond. I know he was in custody as of yesterday, and my understanding is from Heather that the jail is gonna call in at some time. I have 2 in custody defendants this morning. Maybe, hang on, here's Heather. Good morning, Mr. Daly. I'm gonna pull your file. The court-appointed attorney is in a breakout room, and I will have him speak to you right when he's done, okay?
all right. How do I get to that, or would it just send me? a
You're gonna
request?
just wait where you are, and I'm gonna walk you through it in just a minute, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And then Miss Greer, we're all set for the moment. Heather just called me and said that on Kimball, that he's in custody at the hospital. If they call in, it'll be around 11 o'clock. I'm not sure if that's gonna happen or not. And so you can either hang out or we can call you. If it doesn't happen, then she's gonna contact the jail and probably reschedule this and try to figure it out.
Okay, well, if Heather
Mr.
could
Daly,
call-
can you mute yourself, please? Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Greer. Do you want us to just get in touch with you if we need
Yes.
you?
If
Okay,
you could do
perfect.
that, that
All
would
right.
be great.
That's
Thank you.
fine. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
You too.
Mr. King, as you can see, we also have Mr. Daly on, so I'm gonna have Mr. Bowditch talk to him next if you want to pull that file. All right, Mr. Bowditch, recalling People versus Marcus Burns.
Your Honor, for the record, Jeffrey Bowditch appearing on behalf of and with Mr. Burns for these proceedings alone. Your Honor,
Your Honor,
in
Larry.
conversations with Mr. Burns, he seems to have a good relationship with Ms. Belcher. He would like to adjourn this so he could consult with her about his next move.
I have an adjourned pretrial date of November the 19th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I don't have a time. We have his contact information on the file, so they'll send you a note and have Ms. Belcher notified also, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right,
Oh, November 9th, you said, Your Honor?
it's November 19th. It's a
19th.
Judge Oakley docket apparently, but that's the only other domestic docket. You have a docket with Judge Oakley on Thursday, and then he's got a November docket. We don't have another domestic date, so I don't want it to sit out there. So on these, we're just gonna adjourn all of them, any that are adjourned to that date. Unlike we're trying to keep the pre-trials, but it's a little bit of a mix of what we do. All right, so Mr. Burns, you're all set for today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Bowditch on People versus Dakota Daily, which is your file. Mr. Daly is on. Mr. King, is there an offer from the people?
Yes, Your Honor. This case is charged as domestic violence second offense notice. The people would allow Mr. Daly to plead a reduced charge of domestic violence first offense with no sentencing agreement.
All right, Mr. Bowditch, I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Mr. Daly.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Daly, just hit join.
Well, hi, Royce.
Morning, Mr. Nunley.
Why, hello.
Why, hello.
How's it?
Yes.
It's something different. I'm switching it up. It's a COVID beard. It's like a chin strap that's holding on the rest of it.
Still
Is
no.
that what it's doing, Mr. Nunley?
It is. It is.
Good morning, Mr. Jadala. Okay, I'm going to have all you MIDC attorneys and no defendants.
Well, there's a
Your
few.
Honor, I've asked Mr. Johnson to dial in.
What's that?
I've asked Mr. Eric Johnson to dial in. He's going to be requesting a bench trial. Teresa had sent us an email saying if we were going to ask for a jury trial, they don't need to dial in. But I didn't know about bench trial, so I've asked Mr. Johnson to try
No,
to
I'm
dial
setting
in.
bench trials. Is that Mr. Johnson, did you say?
Yes, Eric Johnson.
Yep, that's the only one that you have, isn't it, Mr. Jadala?
Yes, ma'am.
Live bench trial is, if it's a good date for you, we're doing them, it would be November 10th at 10:30.
And Your Honor, are you allowing Zoom bench trials if possible?
We can do it as a Zoom bench trial. That can be, oh, here's Mr. Johnson. Did you want to talk to him about whether you
Okay.
want to do it by Zoom or live?
Your Honor, we've talked. You could put him on. I could ask him
I'm
that simple question.
adding him.
just
I'm
right
adding
ahead.
him.
Okay, thank you.
It'll be November 10th at 10:30, regardless of whether it's
Okay.
live or Zoom.
Absolutely.
At what time, Your Honor?
10:30? That's the next slot.
Perfect. Mr. Jadala, you weren't interested in an offer at all?
Not as of now. One was forwarded. I believe me and you talked previously about an offer, and Mr. Johnson has rejected it, and I believe he continues to.
If anything changes, let me know.
He's connecting
will.
right now. Mr. Nunley, are there any files while we're waiting that you're telling people not to appear?
Yes.
What are they?
Jesse Taylor.
Is that a jury trial?
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
Lynn Mollenkoff. Which would
Same
be,
thing, a jury
jury trial.
trial.
William Clemens.
Yeah.
That would be a jury trial also. And I have one more, which is Matthew Wallace, which I'm having trouble getting a hold of him. I've called him a few times. I'm just waiting for him to get
So
back with me.
Clemens, Taylor, and Mollenkoff. Let me pull those.
Oh, here it is. I can hear it now. I'm sorry.
Is that you, Mr. Johnson?
Can anyone hear me? Can you
Is
hear
that
me?
you, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
I
just
can hear
be patient. We'll call the kid in 1 second.
Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and call that. Hang on, Mr. Nunley, and we'll look at your the information I have. People versus Eric Johnson, Mr. Jadal on behalf of, or Mr. King on behalf of the people.
Yes, sure. Larry King, P 78774 on behalf of the people.
And Mr. Jadala on behalf of Mr. Johnson.
Respectfully, Your Honor, Sam Jadala, P62186, and my DC counsel on behalf of Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, are you there with us now?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me clear?
I can. Yes, Mr. Johnson, we just wanted to verify. We are asking for a bench trial. I just wanted to know, did you want to come in live to do that, or do you want to do it via Zoom?
Whatever is preferable.
It's really up to you. Either way, it's going to be November the 10th at 10:30, and we can do it live where you would come into the building, or we can do it by Zoom. I have other live matters every half hour, whatever that morning. So it's your preference.
Whatever, it's fine with me either way. So if this
Mr.
fine,
Jadala, your call then.
yeah,
Your Honor, if I could.
We'll do
weigh
it on
in
Zoom,
this.
Judge.
Mr. King, you
Okay.
wanted to weigh in?
Well, it seems that there, I'm going to be present in the court, and so is the court. Zoom opens us up to all these technical difficulties and the "can you hear me now" game. It might just be cleaner to have it in person. That's my only thought. I'm not objecting by Zoom, but that's my 2 cents on the matter.
Well, I'm gonna leave it to the defense. I understand your whatever. We do a lot by Zoom. That's the wave of the future. I'm gonna leave it up to them. Mr. Jadala, it's your call.
Your Honor, now I'll do it by Zoom, and I'll talk with Mr. Johnson as the comes closer, notify the court if we change our mind, but for now, I believe.
Well,
it's
you have
via
to,
Zoom.
well, Mr. King, if you want, you can let your victim appear live. And we'll do it with you know what I'm saying? You and the victim can be in one area and I'll be in another. And we can do it, have her appear live, and we can do it by Zoom with them. It can be a mixed bag.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All
I'll
right,
speak with my
Mr. Johnson, I
Yes,
have
ma'am.
your email and your cell. It hasn't changed since you gave it to me back in June, has it?
no, ma'am. What's that? 734-829-9750.
Yeah. Mhm,
Yes,
and then the Gmail address too.
That's
Okay, then
correct.
we will set this for 10:30 on November the 10th, preliminarily, at least for the moment, by Zoom.
Thank
And
you.
Mr. Janala, that's all you have with me, correct?
Yes, Judge, thank you.
Then you're all set. Thank you.
Thank
Mr.
you, Mr. Jadala.
Bowditch, did I lose you?
Yeah, somebody left.
Yeah. Oh, he's still in a breakout room. You're all set, Mr. Johnson.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, on People versus Dakota Daly, Mr. Bowditch, on behalf of Mr. Daly.
Your Honor, for the record, Jeffrey Bowditch, appearing on behalf of Mr. Daly. Your Honor, today's the date and time set for pretrial in this matter. We are requesting a bench trial.
Apparently it's gonna be, is that live?
Yes, Your Honor.
November 10th at 11 a.m. Mr. Daly, it doesn't look like I have your contact information. I'm gonna go off the live stream and get it.